all of a sudden, I start hearing banjos. So I can't figure out where these banjos are coming from. So, first instinct being from the south, I run. And as I'm running, the alligators are catching up to me. So I make an executive decision that I'm going to wrestle this alligator.
This cannot be a true story.
So I get this alligator.
I'm intrigued.
I get this alligator in a full Nelson, roll him over, and of course, I'm naked, so parts are flying everywhere. And
yep.
somehow, my penis ended up inside of that alligator.
Well, that's just an honest
Explains
mistake.
so much.
I mean, that's
sounds like a croc to me.
No, it was an alligator.
Oh!
There is a difference.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Church of Chonkwij podcast. My name is DrNiggle. I'm joined tonight by Masami, OmegaConstruct, and Zero Burn. And, yeah. That was an excellent way to start off. Did that whole story
just go out to the internet?
No, of course it didn't. Anyway, what's been going on this week?
No, but I bet that pun did.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go, wait, nope. Let's go over and, check on the Zero Cam very briefly. Zero Cam's up. Hey, it's up, buddy. Oh, yep, okay, he's got the Smirnoff Ice, and there we go.
Was one of those days.
Yeah, this is gonna be a drinking podcast. I know Zero's drinking. I don't know how much. You only said like a couple ounces of vodka, Masami. How many is a couple?
Well, in the first glass, yes. I'm on glass 2.
That's an excellent answer.
I hoped I would make you proud in some way.
That is best answer.
You've never been drunk on Discord before.
Nope.
Like, ever. And I've encouraged you multiple times. Actually, to be fair, most of the time that I've encouraged you, it's been because I've been drinking, or Leetness has been drinking, or we both been drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was anticipating a D&D game yesterday because Masami is back from her vacation. Welcome back.
Thank you.
And we didn't get around to it for one reason or another, but I prepped for a couple hours before, which means that I was day drinking. And yeah, I feel nothing really became of it. We did some drunk Diablo instead, which was fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I was the only one drinking. Even Leetness didn't drink yesterday. So yeah,
probably for the best. Otherwise, he would have been extra cranky today.
Oh, probably, yeah. I told him he's welcome to come here and blow off steam with us, but I think he's slightly busy, or he's done.
He might still be fixing it, and then after that point, he will probably just fall over and try not to kill people.
Pray that tomorrow is better. We can all hope that tomorrow is a better day. But yeah, it's been, what is it? It's the 14th when we're recording this. The 15th tomorrow, and the 15th, the end of E3. This could be
end of E3. Yeah, end of E3. Couple of things going on tomorrow. Nintendo has their thing, and Bandai Namco has their thing. So, ending off E3 on a more child-friendly note.
It's like the end of a con. It's always like kid family day or something.
Did they start off E3 with the Battlefield 2042 reveal?
They did. They did, and apparently a lot of people love that.
They love that it's basically PUBG.
Essentially, yes. But there, of course, there's not so much PUBG as Apex. Because they've got classes and things.
That's right, and on the big list of bullet points, it does specifically say no battle royale, but there are some mystery modes.
Which means there will probably be a battle royale.
Yeah, right? That's what I'm thinking too.
There'll be something slightly different that they'll call something different and be like, we're pioneers.
Yes, it's a new innovation of the battle royale format.
Isn't that what Black Ops did, where they're like, we're going to do a battle royale with zombies?
Yeah, it's completely different.
Yeah, there were a couple of zombie-like things shown. I remember seeing that.
So this is really a stretch, but I don't suppose anyone here remembers or saw a movie back in, I want to say it was the late mid 90s called Battle Royale. It was a Japanese movie about a bunch of students who uh, got dropped on an island and were told to battle to the death.
I think I remember hearing about it, but no, have not seen.
That was a weird movie when I saw that, but that's what I think of every time I hear Battle Royale, is a whole bunch of people forced to fight to the death for no particular reason other than morbid amusement of other people.
I mean, that's literally the storyline of like 90% of battle royale games out there.
True.
Yeah, but everybody loves Battle Royale. Everybody wants to play the Battle Royale. I'm just like, I'm fucking terrified of that shit. I don't want to be stuck on an island and have to eat bugs like Leonardo DiCaprio. Cue that video of Leonardo DiCaprio very slowly and deliberately eating a maggot. Caterpillar, whatever it was.
Either way, disgusting.
Yeah. So anyway, I
Mhm.
don't think any of us actually play Battlefield, but 128 players, up to 128 players on a map, siege-style characters, and there will be no single player. It's good for them.
Wow.
Anyway.
Yeah, so that's where we are now with first-person shooters. Just not even pretending anymore. No single player at all.
No campaign. Nobody cares about story in a first-person shooter. Take that shit to an RPG game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've thought it was a fear that I've had, but this is the first indication that it might actually be coming true that, yeah, the first-person shooter as a genre is going to become pretty much exclusively competitive multiplayer gameplay. And
Which
then it
would
saves a lot of fucking time when you don't gotta fucking write AI
Yeah.
and like program fucking the interactions of 500 AI enemies and scripted events in a game campaign. Probably makes it a fuck ton easier.
You remember when what was the last Ghost Recon that came out? Breakpoint. When Breakpoint came out, there were no AI characters, and people complained, so they slapped a patch in because they already had the existing code from Wildlands. That's I think to this day I think that's the only reason why they even considered putting the NPC AI back into Breakpoint, even though I know that's not a first-person shooter. Well, it can be, but it's not really.
But what do you mean by NPCs?
You in Wildlands, you had a squad of 3 other people that you could order and follow around.
Gotcha. Oh, they added that to Breakpoint?
Yeah, they did, because they had all the existing. I'm pretty sure that Breakpoint and Wildlands are based on the same engine.
Well, yeah, that must have been after I stopped playing Breakpoint, though, because I never fucked around with having a command of squad mates.
Yeah. Well, back when a couple months ago, when GT mentioned that he might be playing Breakpoint again, I went back in and I saw all the updates that they had done, and they put they put your NPC squad mates back into the game. So yeah, they did that fairly late. They still haven't fixed the seasonal shit though.
Can't say I'm super interested in going back to it.
Nah, we did everything that we wanted to do in that game. But if we want new games, there are 70 plus games shown at the 2021 Guerrilla Collective E3 showcase.
A lot of freaking games.
Yeah, there are a lot of these.
Yeah, there was a ton of games. Holy fuck. Guess my main interesting one was the Xbox Bethesda thing, but I'll wait until we get an article about that because I'm sure there's one in there.
Well, you know there is. Come on now.
Good.
Oh yeah, probably.
I'm patient.
Jesus, some of this stuff in loading. Anyway, there is a shit ton of stuff here, and they all have trailers on them. This is just a mess of indie games.
Death Trash.
Wait, is there one called Death Trash? Oh, there totally is. I was just looking at it. Jesus.
That looks absolutely horrifying.
You know what? Yeah. I'd play that.
Mm.
There was another game that came out in the style a while ago from Devolver Digital, where you played as like a contagion, a little virus, and you had to like absorb people's DNA and grow as a monster. It was a reverse horror game where you were the monster, and that was actually pretty fun. Can't for the life of me remember what it's called though. That's the other thing. I haven't been paying a super lot of attention to E3, but I did want to ask you, Zero. Did Devolver Digital do a presentation?
They had their own.
They did not have their own. I honestly don't know. As close as I've been trying to keep up with it, I have had other things that have been going on.
I'm pretty sure they had their own, if I remember correctly. I don't think it was long.
Let me check the schedule.
For anyone who's not familiar with Devolver Digital, they do the most fucking awesome game presentations ever, or just generally the best corporate presentations ever, because it's everything that you really know that a corporation is thinking, but they just demonstrate that out loud, and it's fucking gross and hilarious.
They did not, that I'm seeing on the official E3 website. The only thing that I may have missed in the lookup for all of this was the Square Enix presentation that happened on Sunday, but we'll get to that shortly.
Hello Neighbor 2. Okay.
Did you play Hello Neighbor?
I watched plenty of other people play it.
Good fucking game. Lots of lore in that game.
Thing is, I'm always paranoid about a game. I don't. It's really super stressful for me whenever I play a game where something is constantly looking for me and trying to kill me, or send me back to square one in this case.
Yeah. It was actually really neat. If you go in and watch, if you go in and anybody is fans of the Game Theory channel, Matt Pat did an entire like 3 or 4 episodes just on the lore behind Hello Neighbor and like the different lore pieces, the connections. It is actually a very dark game.
Yeah, once you get without getting into too many spoilers, if anybody here wants to check out Hello Neighbor later on, yeah, you start. It's one of those games where you start off in a very familiar environment and you end up in one that is wildly different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess Hello Neighbor 2 will be coming out. So I'm imagining that that's going to be the subject of a whole hell of a lot of YouTube Let's Plays.
Yeah. In semi-related news to Hello Neighbor, FNAF has been placed on the chopping block by the Twitterverse.
Any in particular reason?
Well, the creator, Scott Cawthon, released his charitable givings, or his charitable givings were made public. And of course, I believe that those type of things are public anyway. But they were made public, and apparently he had donated to several right-leaning organizations, and like all of Twitter went nuts over it and started trying to cancel him. And he essentially said, try if you want to, but I've got the #1 most popular indie game that's ever been created. Try me.
So he's basically he's wannabe Notch.
Essentially.
Notch has been doing that for years. He's like, I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want because I made Minecraft and I'm a billionaire. You can suck my balls.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
that's basically how he runs his Twitter, and it's hilarious.
There is one game here called Trash Sailors. Hand-drawn sailing simulator. Build a boat and sail the seas with 4 pals in co-op. This looks like it might be good for a laugh.
Wonder how much it'll be. We shall see.
They're
hopefully
all,
more than trash.
Yeah, they're all indie titles. I'm guessing that this looks like a $20 game. I'll guess. But a lot of this does. The indie game section is usually the most interesting section because there's a lot of original ideas there.
Yeah.
That's where you find the original ideas. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much the only place.
I
Anymore.
love indie games, man. I love them. Don't play a lot of them, but I love them.
It's not profitable to shareholders or attractive to shareholders to take risks on new ideas when there are proven ideas to make money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, when are we yeah. I guess the gaming world doesn't really need a version of its own version of Netflix. But for visual entertainment, TV shows and movies, yeah, Netflix was the first big streaming service, I guess, development service that sort of snapped out of the whole. Everybody was making sequels. Every movie was a sequel to something. All the most popular movies were repeats of ideas. And then
Well, they had to
was just
start
like,
more or less from scratch because they didn't own any IPs.
yep. So they made these very attractive offers to directors to come in and just be like, hey, make whatever the fuck you want, and we'll fund you for it. And we got
Ended up with some pretty
out
interesting movies. Yeah, like
yeah.
none of it are stuff that's gonna win Oscars or anything crazy, but there are some fun, interesting movies. Like I know Bright was pretty criticized when it came out. That Will Smith like fantasy LA movie.
Yeah,
I love
is a
that
cop.
shit.
Will Smith is a cop with an orc partner.
I thought it was pretty fun, but
Yeah,
I mean,
It's
love
different.
yeah, D&D nerd. But yeah, that was different. It was an idea. They took a chance. It's not going to be like some crazy earth-shattering, paradigm-shifting movie, but it was interesting. It was fun. And yeah, it was something that I don't think you'd see a lot of the major studios trying anymore.
There was another Netflix original, The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, I think it was. That was actually, in my opinion, that could have easily been up for an Oscar in a couple categories. It was kind of a western that had a whole bunch of shorts that all tied into together, and there was some fun stories, some interesting ideas in there. I have absolutely no James Franco. If you want to see James Franco get hanged twice, that's a good movie.
Is that the one that's in all the memes?
Oh yeah, is this your first
I
time?
mean, where he's got the news. Oh yeah, first time.
Yeah, first time. Yeah, that's that one.
So you're saying he's hung a lot?
Your words, not mine.
Actually, just point of order. The correct term is hanged. If you are executed by hanging, you were not hung. You were hanged. Past tense.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
Huh. Neat. Oh.
Speaking of interesting, let's go over to the Zero Cam. What's up, Zero? Oh my God, it's Puppy Cam. Oh, that's a cute little
she's
puppy.
so cute.
Oh, there's little dachshund. She's just
She
like,
was-
Here
oh,
knows what the people want to see.
Yeah.
she's
Puppies.
tired. She gets tired.
She's
It's late.
She is very tired. It has been a long, stressful day of sleeping and eating and pooping.
And booping, always the booping.
What an exhausting experience, Lord.
Yeah, right.
She's very interested in everything on my desk. So
Well, it's yours, therefore it's hers. So
yeah, exactly.
They were not kidding. There are at least 70 games here.
Mhm.
There's a ton of stuff coming out. So some of this looks fun. Some of it just looks weird. Gee whiz, 70 plus games. Guerrilla Collective. Alright, so that's that. Ubisoft reveals Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora out next year. Just what everybody wanted.
I heard that, like,
Actually, it is something that a lot of people have wanted. They've wanted a decent Avatar game because the first one was absolute shite. So
Is it going to be VR?
that I am unaware of.
I still haven't
Likely-
seen Avatar.
Neither
Oh
have
my
I.
God, Pandora. It's set for release on
thought-
PC sometime in 2022. It'll likely appear around the same time of Avatar 2's release on December 16th. I excuse me. I knew that they were making another Avatar movie.
They're
I just
making
didn't-
2.
I didn't even think that. Dude, go on IMDb and check the lineup. They're making 10.
Good God.
Avatar movies?
They have 10 Avatar movies and their timetables on IMDb.
Good lord.
Does
Um,
anyone even still remember the first one? Like, seriously.
I remember
I saw it once.
There was a very boring Australian guy as the lead role. There was the Latina actress who always dies in every single movie that she's ever in. And there were blue people, and James Cameron had to redesign the blue people because originally they were too cat-like, and he couldn't imagine anybody wanting to fuck them. So he remade them to be more fuckable.
Has he never met furries?
Look, I mean...
Yes, but you
Maybe he
can't
just
market
hates
to
them
just
as much as I do. And he
Yeah,
didn't
you
want
can't-
to
you
get
can't
into
market
it.
you can't market to 1% of the entire population. In fact, I wouldn't even say 1%. I would say 0.25% of the population.
Yeah, I don't know how big the furry market is either, but James Cameron decided that it wasn't big enough.
Uh,
So I never even played the first Avatar game. I didn't even know what it was, like MMO.
Oh,
I didn't
or-
even know there was a game.
I
To be
believe
honest,
there
like-
was, if I remember correctly.
Oh, there was. You're right. Okay, it was a third. It was a third person. It was an over-the-shoulder affair, and you were playing as the main character, and you got to control an avatar, and you were running through the jungle. I remember that because that game came with a built-in 3D option.
Yes, and it was on the PS3.
There you go. Okay, so PS3. That was a while ago.
Let's see your platforms: PS3, Android, Xbox 360, PSP, Wii, Nintendo DS. Well, it was available on all platforms, like all platforms, all of them.
I mean,
It
hell,
even
this
it
looks
even
like a pretty
ran
game.
on Java.
Oh, Jesus Christ on a cracker.
Why in God's name would you ever do that?
Like, Chrome got rid of Java, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, a lot of people are. You know, the boring reason for that is Java updated their TOS a while ago. They made you need now a completely separate commercial license if you're actually using it in a commercial way.
Oh, Jesus.
So yeah, you get that notification every time you install it. I had to install it to do some, I don't know, I was working with some program, so I had to install it, and then when I was done, I promptly uninstalled it. It's a notoriously insecure application, which is constantly updated because of that fact.
Annoyingly so, let me tell you.
Alright, so, if anybody's a fan of Avatar, out next year. The only thing that I don't know is Ubisoft Forward. This is the first time I'm seeing this.
So I actually did watch this because at the time my wife was actually out of the house, so I had control of the main TV in the house and was watching Ubisoft. Rainbow Six Extraction. They are PvE co-op experience. Up to two other players can form a squad, and you join NPCs to be able to extract people from quarantine zones.
Great.
A new Rocksmith game is coming out. Rocksmith Plus. Hooray. They're doing
what is that,
another
Sorry,
Rainbow Six Siege.
Rocksmith, is this the Ubisoft version of Guitar Hero?
Yes, only you use a real guitar and your PC's camera.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that'll be extremely popular with everybody who can't play guitar, but thinks that
Yeah,
they
well,
can.
Well,
I mean,
actually,
it's been out for a while.
yeah,
Like,
it's
had
actually
a few generations.
Yeah, and it's actually a friend of mine actually used it to help him learn how to play guitar.
Yeah,
No
that's
shit.
kind of how it's marketed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my god, interactive. Yeah, an interactive game to help you play an instrument. Great.
Well, listen, how did you learn
I'm
to
all-
type? Because I know there was a whole lot of us who had learned to type games where, yeah, it's not exactly it's a new application of games for learning a skill, which is a relatively old idea. I think it's pretty neat.
I learned how to type in the... Well, no, I learned how to type because they had computers in my 4th grade class, which is where we played Oregon Trail and Number Munchers for the first time. That's how old I am. And then I think in the 5th or the 6th grade, they tried to get us into the quote-unquote computer lab, which was the library. And we had some application that, taught us, where to put our fingers and everything and how to type and everything. And, yeah, I just completely ignored that and went on typing the way that I'd been typing as a child. And I still type that way to this day. Just why I can't do more than, 10 words a minute. I'm an expert typer.
Well, if it tells you anything, they're also a game called Republic Riders. I've never heard of this game before, but apparently it's gonna be huge. So it's it's almost like Fall Guys
This
with
looks like Jet Set
snowboarding.
Radio.
Yeah. So it's like snowboarding, the snowboarding version of Fall Guys.
All right.
So, Just Dance 2022 for all of our Just Dancers out there. The one person who listens to our podcast that does Just Dance. Hello, Leetness.
I will see. I think his butt looks as good as it does.
It's
Do
gotta
you
be
guys
the
got
short
pictures?
shorts.
Do you have pictures of his butt?
I do not.
Damn.
I've just extrapolated from whatever pictures I have been shown.
Take that image. Enhance. Rotate.
Enhance again.
Now
Assassin's
center.
Creed Valhalla's second DLC got announced. Yay Murder Fun Time.
Yep. Assassin's Creed franchise still going.
Sounds like a real stab in the back.
Get out. Just get
Oh
out.
wait, I can do this.
Unacceptable.
Thank you.
Works again.
Far Cry 6 is getting a villains mode. That is integrating the enemies the main enemies from Far Cry 3, 4, and 5.
Oh, the whole crew is back.
Yes, and you've got the Psycho Preacher, the Psycho, and the Psycho Warlord.
How diverse.
Yes.
The Psycho Warlord was my favorite in terms of his fashion.
Yes. Well, I actually, believe it or not, I thoroughly enjoyed Far Cry 5. Simply because it felt like, of all of the Far Cries that I've played, it felt the most realistic. Like it felt like okay, this shit could really and probably actually has really happened. I mean, minus the spoiler alert if you haven't played Far Cry 5, the gigantic nuclear explosion at the end of the game.
You said nuclear.
It's nuclear.
Nuclear.
Okay, nuclear. I'm from the South. Kiss my ass.
It's pronounced
Your
nuclear.
southern ass.
George.
Upstairs.
Nuclear.
I believe it is pronounced nuclear. You would be wrong.
Say water for me once.
Water
Yep.
and wash.
And wash.
Wash. I'm gonna go wash my car after I change the tires.
Oh, and then there's Mario, Rabbids Sparks of Hope, which nobody gives a shit
Yes.
about. Okay.
Well,
back up here.
Yeah.
Ubisoft Film and Television? Are there two? Oh! Ubisoft is behind Werewolves Within?
Mm-hmm. They are.
I saw the trailer for that. That actually looks like it might be a silly, fun movie.
And I'm actually on board for Mythic Quest as well.
I'm not familiar with Mythic Quest.
Nicely done.
Good one. There we go. Mythic Quest based on a... I feel like I know that name, actually, from a game. I don't know. Whatever.
I haven't actually watched the show. I've seen the trailers, and I'm actually quite interested. I just don't have the wherewithal or the want to get Apple TV Plus to be able to watch the show. So I've got to find a decent way to get that without having to get it on Apple TV.
Yeah, go to a friend's house and they have Apple TV and just be like, "Hey, I'm going to be in your living room." They'll be like,
Actually, I do have a friend who has Apple TV. I may have to do that.
They'll be like, "No, please leave."
Friends let friends borrow streaming services.
Actually, he would probably be like, "Dude, let me get the popcorn. Let's watch this shit."
Nice.
Yeah, because his basement is a gigantic movie theater. It is fucking amazing. We watched WrestleMania 2 years ago down there. Oh,
Damn.
75-inch TV, full surround sound with theater seating. Yes, please.
Gauge your enjoyment of the experience with a measurement of your erection.
Full 3 inches. It's a full 3 inches.
Damn. All right, that's pretty fucking good. All right, there we go. So that's Ubisoft Forward. And that was the 12th. I think this is also the 12th. Oh, no, 13th. Everything announced for Gearbox. Godfall on PS4, Fire and Darkness. Let's see, Tribes of Midgard. Homeworld 3. Homeworld? They're making another Homeworld. Okay. If anybody ever played the Homeworld games, if I'm remembering this correctly, it's a top-down strategy. I could be thinking of a different game. I don't know.
I'm not aware of. I'm not aware of the series, so. However, I am excited for Tiny Tina's.
Yeah, Tiny Tina. Okay, so Tiny Tina's, and they did a behind the scenes of the Borderlands movie, which is in post right now. Wait, have they
I saw that trailer for Tiny Tina's. What kind of game is that going to be?
I don't know.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, I'm excited for it because I love Borderlands shit. I've been a fan forever. I'm just not exactly clear on what it is that that game is all about.
Is there any gameplay footage in the trailer, or is it all just pre-rendered?
It seemed to be a lot of pre-rendered kind of stuff.
I hate it when they do that. I really want. I want to see gameplay. I want to see what it actually looks like. Although the pre-rendered stuff does look fun. I mean, she's riding a giant ass dragon. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like the color scheme for some reason.
It's a hype trailer. I get it. I'm not too upset, but yeah, totally. I'm with you. Like they tell me what the game is about. You know, that's what I want to know. What's the game about?
I want to know when the fucking Borderlands movie is coming. I want to see Kevin Hart. So anyway,
I just like how in the Borderlands set visit that they grayed out Ariana Greenblatt as Tiny Tina, and they just put Tiny Tina's picture over top of her, and then they did a little thing that said, "This may or may not be Ariana Greenblatt as Tiny Tina." Attaboy. So the only thing I can think about Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is that it's going to be based off of the Bunkers and Badasses games that Tiny Tina loves.
Yeah, which are basically D&D and Borderlands.
Yep.
That's kind of the scuttlebutt that I was hearing, is that it's going to be maybe not quite RPG-like, but it's going to have like that very very kind of feel to it somehow.
Oh boy.
That'll be fun.
That's half of the E3 news that's on the list. What else is there that's that we should go over? Zero.
Well, the Xbox Bethesda was a huge thing. Bethesda announced Starfield,
Oh,
which
shit,
is
wait.
something.
Sorry, we gotta pause for a minute because I'm a bad host. I wasn't watching chat. Hi, Kirby.
Oh God, really? Hi,
I
Kirby.
miss Kirby in chat.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Hi,
Okay,
Kirby.
sorry, Zero. Keep going.
No, that's okay. Bethesda finally officially announced Starfield, which is something that they've been working on for quite some time. Just the trailer itself made me a very happy individual.
Yeah, they've updated their creation engine to the Creation Engine 2, thanks to probably their little buyout by Microsoft. So it'll be interesting to see how much better that engine does compared to the normal one.
There's one thing on here, Zero, that immediately caught my eye. It's the Diablo 2 Resurrected release date, which I'm pretty sure that
Yes, sir.
Riker covered this when they were actually talking about it. But yeah, the release date was announced as September 23, available on PC, BattleNet, and also Xbox Series. Oh, it's Xbox X, Xbox One, PS4, PS5, and Switch.
Yes.
Mhm.
I'm very. We talked about it a little bit. What was it yesterday? And I mean, I'm interested because I never got to play Diablo 2. I only was introduced to the Diablo series with Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition when it hit Xbox, because I was not a PC player until the beginning of the pandemic.
Until we converted you to the light.
Well, I mean, y'all had cookies. What can I say? I'm fat.
Damn.
But
I mean, we do have good cookies. That's true.
yeah, the cookies are amazing.
Homemade.
The good thing is what I like is it's allowing me to go back and play Diablo 2 with the updated graphics and engine that they have for Diablo 3 to 4, whatever's the in between. So I'm interested to play it. I'm hoping that I get to play it with you guys, because playing Diablo 3 with you guys has been the most fun I have ever had in my life.
So you're
It-
saying you need to drop your toxic WoW guild and just join us forever?
Well, not drop my toxic WoW guild. I would never do that, because there are a few people in my WoW guild that are not toxic.
Boo! Wow! Boo!
In fact, there was a bit of an issue last night that was resolved, and the toxicity has since been dealt with. But I'm done with WoW. I've gotten to a point where I'm bored with it. I've gone to as far as I can go to. I am not a hardcore WoW player by any stretch of the imagination. I never will be. I'm not that guy who logs in night one and has to get to the next level cap, has to get all of my gear to top rank to be able to raid heroic or mythic on the first night. That's just not who I am. I like the
You remember
lore.
when you started playing D3 seasonal and we told you after 2 days that there was no reason why your season journey shouldn't be completely done?
Yes. Yes. I remember that. And that's when I stopped playing the season, or stopped playing the story, and moved over to adventure mode, because I was able to get all of the achievements for story mode in adventure mode. Thank you.
Yeah, that's true.
So it was just, it's one of those things where, I love all the guys in my WoW guild. I do. In fact, I've got, one of the guys is a long-time friend, known him since back in Wrath of the Lich King, which was over 14 years ago. God, I'm old. Which is about 14 years ago. So we've known each other that long. And it's just one of those things where, I'm always going to be friends. I'm helping them manage the Discord over there, but I'm not going to be playing the game even part-time at this point. Once my subscription expires and my quote unquote free subscription runs out when I'm not going to renew it. Unless I see something that really makes me want to renew, I'm not going to renew anytime soon. So, the lore aspect of it is great, but I can catch all that through YouTube channels that I follow.
Hey, Doc, can you mark this time down, snip all that so we can throw it in his face next week when he's fucking playing WoW?
Done.
Yep. Awesome.
Thanks, you bastards.
Actually,
yes,
that
that's why
fucking
you
long
love it.
principled blah blah blah. Like I'm like, you son of a bitch, you'll be playing WoW next fucking week.
wait until this season of Diablo is over, and then you gotta wait. I don't
wait
even know if
until
they're
the
doing
rest of us quit. Wait until Doc, myself, and Linus get tired of it, which you've got probably 2 weeks at most.
Right.
That's on the outside.
Probably 2 weeks, yeah. And then
2 weeks on the outside.
We're finally gonna get back to farming Gara and Warframe.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what happened. This is our Warframe break.
Oh, you're missing dog days. I'm shooting fucking Grenier with water guns.
Oh gosh, how long does that last? What are the
Only
special
like
prizes?
Another 10 days. They're all the special prizes that we got last time. There's no point in us doing it again.
But roly floofs.
Roly
There are
floofs.
yeah, there are those.
I only have one roly floof. I need one of each roly floof.
Check back in on Masami Cam. Here's Masami
That's
Cam.
what I've been doing.
I know. I saw you pop in there when we started off. I was just like, oh yeah, Dog Days. I haven't played any of that. There's one thing, Omega. There's one thing that was in the Cax inventory that I didn't have. I think it costs like a couple pearls, and all your pearls carry over. So
They do.
yeah, there's this one thing that I didn't have for some reason. I don't remember what it was. Oh, it was the new ephemera, the one that Masami is wearing, the inner tube.
Oh yeah, I don't have that either.
I don't have that either. That must have been something they
That was brand new this time around.
okay.
I'm gonna have to get that and put it on my Grendel.
Yeah, right.
Oh my god.
Again,
While I was drinking. Fuck's sake.
Masami,
That's an amazing image.
Masami, is this your first time doing Dog Days?
Mm-mm.
No, she did it with us last year.
Okay, so you have seen Party Rhino.
Yes, I have seen Party Rhino. I remember Party Rhino.
Party Rhino loves to party.
I'm coming up on 2 years playing Warframe here in July.
God damn.
And then a few months after that, I will have known you all for 2 years.
Oh my goodness. All right, so, wait, okay, so...
You will have known Doc and Omega for 2 years.
Right.
We can spend the rest of the night talking about Warframe, because there's just so much. Jesus Christ, Masami, your orbiter is pink.
Yes, it is. It's actually kind of a purple, but yeah, I mean, pinkish, purplish.
It's delightful because it goes with your wisp so well.
That's kind of why I did it, because I play her so much. I believe in color coordination.
Oh my god, your Itan sculptures are basically in the same place that mine are.
I mean, you had a good idea.
They're, yeah, the unique ones, they were unique.
Yep. Yeah, once upon a day.
Oh, yeah, that's good times. Okay, so I want to, getting back to Diablo.
I will say my favorite trailer in all of the E3 stuff that I watched between Saturday and Sunday, for reasons of I don't know why, but was the Outer Worlds trailer. That shit was funny as fuck.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And the
Oh my
mascot
God.
at the the mascot at the end reminded me of the moon mascot from the Moon Disney World in Futurama.
Right.
If you haven't, I'll mark this down, or maybe I'll post it in the Discord after this, but there is a YouTube video that everybody here should watch. It's called A Psychopath Plays Outer Worlds.
Oh, amazing.
So how did they record you playing?
Oh, come on. No, yeah. No, it's true.
I mean, you left that door open, Doc. Come on.
I did. Yeah, I softballed that one in. That's true.
It was rather wide.
Does
Giggity.
anyone... that's not the only thing on me that's rather wide. Oh,
Hey, it's more like a cheese wheel, really. Oh, you're talking about your anus. Got it.
Yeah, I'm talking about throwing hot dogs down hallways. Does anybody remember in Diablo 2, besides you, Zero, because you haven't played, you said. So I guess just Omega, do you remember the cinematics in Diablo 2 about the guy who was accompanying the Dark Wanderer who saw this horrific shit and ended up going insane?
Yeah, it was amazing.
They remastered all of the cutscenes.
See, okay, now that I'm gonna look forward to. See, all right. So here's the thing, Zero. You're excited about D2. We're not gonna play D2 like we play D3. It's not the same kind of game. It doesn't have the same kind of content. Like we'll play it, and we'll probably play through the campaign for nostalgia. Fuck around with it for a few weeks, see how we can break it, and then that might be it.
And then the offline patches will start. We can talk about that after this too. But yeah, we'll start breaking it by dissecting the code like we did in college.
Exactly. Like one of the things that makes that made Diablo 2 so fun back in the day was you could just download trainers that would let you do whatever the fuck you wanted to the game, because this is back before games figured out how to lock all that shit down really well. And so you could give yourself whatever you wanted to the inventory. You could give your character whatever stats you wanted, because back in those days, your whole character sheet was just a text file.
Yeah, you could create gear sets with gear bonuses.
Yeah, you could,
nice.
You could literally make anything and everything you wanted in the game. And Doc and I spent so much time figuring out different ways to just do hilarious, ridiculous fucking shit. Various levels of absurdity and breaking the game. And, as is, the current standard, D2 Remastered or Resurrected or whatever is going to be online only. And people are trying to make patches, and Blizzard is getting them taken down off GitHub. So yeah, Doc shared a link about this earlier in the week, and as much as I am looking forward to playing through the story again and seeing it look beautiful again and those cutscenes and everything, if we can't fuck it up like we used to, it's not gonna have the same value.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll put this up on screen, but this is a Torrent Freak article where Blizzard DMCA notices wipes Diablo 2 Resurrected offline patches from GitHub. So what happened was it came out and it was announced that Diablo 2 Resurrected is going to be online only, and of course people didn't really take that well, particularly one developer, Farib Hellscream, and he released an offline patch for the game. The reason this really triggered Blizzard was because the offline patch could also be used on the closed alpha, so anybody was able to play the closed alpha for as long as they wanted. So that pissed off Blizzard, and Blizzard spammed DMCAs to GitHub to get these taken down. The thing about it is that this patch was forked so many times that GitHub is having difficulty keeping the patch down. So it exists
once on
now.
the internet. It's on the internet.
It's like pissing into the ocean. There's no way to get the piss out. So there's obviously this capability, and this is going to follow through. I don't think that Blizzard is going to be able to find a way to stop this from, what I want to say, persisting.
Nice.
So it is. So yeah, we'll have some offline patches, and hopefully that'll allow Omega and I to break this game.
Well, though it's not just the offline patches. It'll also be having to have people figure out how to get inside and fuck it up the same way, because I imagine the entire inside.
Told you it was going to hit you at some point.
Hey, Jesus fuck! I want to.
Good Lord, if you're going to be hooting and hollering, mute your mic.
His cam is turned off. I really wanted to check in on the Zero cam there. No, he stepped away for puppy related. I'm gonna guess puppy.
But yeah, if it's gonna be the same story and all, but I imagine the internals are gonna be very different. It's not gonna be the same. Yeah, like we said, it's gonna be updated and put on a new engine and look beautiful again. And with that, might make it a whole lot harder. Whether or not there's an offline patch, just because we can play offline doesn't mean people are going to be necessarily be able to figure out how to break into the game to give us that kind of freedom.
I'm going to guess.
But it also doesn't. No, go ahead.
I'm gonna guess right now that the guy who coded Jamila is gonna be back. So that was probably the most extensive development tool for D2 ever, with Jamila's Jamila editor.
I mean, maybe that would be cool, but who's to say? What if that guy, made that 20 years ago, and since then has been, working, back end dev at some bank on, their proprietary software and hasn't looked at a fucking video game in a decade.
I'm gonna get a hold of his Twitter. I will tweet him and beg him to come back.
I apologize for the hooting and hollering. Yeah, I thought I muted my mic when I stepped away to pee.
Let's check back in on the zero cam. Hey, all right, back to Torrent Freak.
Freaky.
So anyway, that was the big news in the D2 resurrected offline matter.
No, listen, I will say though, there's the added twist there that this was made for the closed alpha, and it is effectively letting people have permanent access to the closed alpha. And I can totally understand why Blizzard's not happy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Like, that's pretty reasonable in my book. I'm not going to bemoan Blizzard being unhappy that somebody can do that. So it is what it is, I guess. At the end of the day, I do hope that people do eventually figure out decent offline patches, and Blizzard isn't too difficult about letting people have fun fucking with the game for nostalgia's sake. What it really depends, though, is what sort of multiplayer elements they intend to add. I mean, if they're going to do competitive leaderboards like they have in D3, they're going to have to be really careful about that shit. So, I don't know.
Dude, you think there's going to be Chinese gold farmers?
Would it be a Blizzard game? Would it be a Blizzard game if there weren't?
Does a bear shit in the woods?
Oh, it's not possible in D3 anymore. You can't trade gold, and you straight up can't even trade items anymore unless they drop in the party that you're in, and then you got a 2-hour clock. So I'm wondering if they're gonna have the old how they have improved or modified the trading system that D2 had.
That will be interesting.
They've walled it off. I bet you money they walled it off.
They've created a brand new D2 auction house.
Well, I wonder if they're going to do what they did with original D2, where you could play online on Battle.net, where your characters were stored on the online Battle.net servers, or you could play on OpenBattle.net, where your characters were stored on your computer. And those were the characters that you and I could put trainers on and fuck up and do hilarious things with. But we could go on live Battle.net servers as well, where there were those protected, uncheatable, or at least more difficult to cheat, files. So it'd be nice if Blizzard did something like that, where they kind of acknowledge, like, hey, we'll let people do both.
That would be fun. I do remember, Blizzard had some pretty good anti-cheat stuff for D2. Not perfect. There were absolutely ways to get around it, but for the time that it came out, that was
It's kind of like the home security sign. It doesn't make your house impossible to break into. It just makes it least attractive. When you give people an option to allow them to cheat and have fun doing it in their solo games or with their friends, they may be less tempted to go through the additional effort it would take to cheat in the official, Blizzard-hosted online servers. So if they have that mentality, we might get lucky and actually see that with D2 Resurrected, where they let us, have our cake and eat it too, so to speak. They give us the official, secure, supported Blizzard servers, and they let us on the side fuck around and have fun breaking the game to our heart's content.
Oh, we can always hope.
I doubt it. I was
going to say, this is Blizzard we're talking about, so.
Well, but it's also Blizzard we're talking about that let us do that with D2.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was pre-Activision taking over.
Yeah, hey, no doubt. But Blizzard's been trying to say they want to go back to the roots, and they've been distancing themselves from Activision in some ways. So who knows?
For Kirby in chat, Zero-Cam is one of our absolute my absolute favorite additions to the podcast.
It's a nice highlight.
He's got it's just great.
I mean, just wait until I start going all Oprah Winfrey and doing wardrobe changes and shit.
I was actually looking forward to like one time going to the Zero-Cam and you're wearing some outrageous fruit basket hat or something.
Honestly, when you said Oprah Winfrey, I'm like, you're giving shit away? Sweet.
I want to
go. I wish.
Forgot to do this earlier, Doc. I'm just running high grifts, and I started streaming. If you want to switch to that as we go.
Ah, right.
Get a variety in our killing.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, the speed at which you and I move in Diablo makes it so.
This is my new slow build.
The screen is so fucking pixelated, but the bar at the bottom with your health and your wrath, pristine.
Right. Pretty much how it is to view your screen.
All I'm gonna say is I have finally figured out that
somebody nitro boost the server. Wasn't there like a free reward from Amazon Prime this week or from Twitch Prime this month? You get like a free nitro boost or something.
I'll look into that. If that's true, I'll fucking do it.
But yeah, no, I think
get a free one, sure.
Yeah, the cool thing that I like is the fact that I was able to switch over to Monk and like pick it up with zero issue. The only difference between the Monk and the Necromancer is I'm having to pay closer attention to my skills and the countdown bar, because I am having to keep my auras and meditations up constantly to keep that toughness above 3 mil.
Well, you gotta keep serenity up.
Yeah,
that's right. Each class is different, but you're as a monk, you got to keep serenity up because that's your main damage reduction. And the other one, it's fine. You want to span your mantra, that's fine too. I usually just, what did I do? I spam serenity and whatever it's called. What's your resource called as a monk?
Faith or spirit?
Gotta have faith.
Spirit, yeah. Not enough spirit, is what the dude says. Yeah, so just punch things to keep your spirit up as high as possible so you can spam serenity, and then you gotta get your CDR down. Or you gotta get your CDR way up.
The thing about the justice build, the pattern of justice build, is there is no spirit builder. It relies on you having the set complete, and literally Tempest Rush has no spirit use at all. It actually regenerates spirit.
Oh, damn. All right, that's good for the set. Yeah, no, the old way that Tempest Rush used to work was that it was a drainer, so you had to minimize cost reduction or some shit like that. I don't know. There's a wicked old video on my YouTube channel of me running Desolate Sands looking for the ancient machine, and all I was doing was Tempest Rush. It's the fastest way I could figure out how to do that.
Like right now with that build, where I'm at in that build, I just need 2 more pieces. I think it's gloves and pants. I am not seeing any reduction in my resources using Tempest Rush. However, because I have to keep up sweeping strikes or sweeping sands and whatever the other one is, whatever my 3 skill is, I have to keep both of those up, plus using Serenity. Serenity actually helps me regen the spirit, but the 3 and 1 skills are absolute killers, and
God damn it,
draining all lasers.
That's just a little
it's the bullshit, because there's a shield pylon right there, and then I'm going for it, and then they trap me behind a waller, and then they kill me with arcane lasers when there's literally a shield pylon right there that they wouldn't let me get.
Yep.
That was pretty good tactics on their part.
I've done in a similar vein, trying to run 100s to get gems up. A couple times I've gone into a level and I've died in the first, 30 seconds, and then I go right around the corner and there's a shield pylon.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, I told you the other day, I feel like the game gives you shield pylons after you die. I mentioned that because, it happened. I feel like it happens to me multiple occasions.
There are so many conspiracy theories that maybe we all have about D3. Maybe just Omega and I, after playing it for so long, I got a ton of conspiracy theories about rolling, about map generation, about mob sets, about random fucking deaths when I can't see being hit by anything. I'm not bitter. You're bitter.
Fucking A-bombs.
Also A-bombs, yeah.
It's like we said, once you're playing the game at this level, against enemies these high, you're gonna die.
Oh, yeah.
And every time you do, well, not every time. Sometimes you'll be like, yeah, okay, that was my fault. But almost every time you die, it's bullshit. And it's, regardless of what happened, it's bullshit.
So that's not my fucking fault. That's the game's fault.
Yep, it's always bullshit. That's just a rule. And we accept it. Because whenever we play and you die, the first thing you always say is fucking bullshit. And it's true. So...
Oh, let's check back in on Zero Cam. Zero, how you doing? Are you still doing good? All right, back to Masami. What's up in Warframe? Opening up lockers.
Yes.
Thrilling.
This is my fourth Ancient Squirts.
Ancient Squirts.
Yeah, we were complaining about how that is the new meta. We were complaining about how that's the new meta. The game's trying to force it on me. That is my fourth Ancient Squirts.
What was it you said yesterday, Doc, that I was getting so many of the exploding palm pieces?
Oh no, the dash build.
The dash build.
Yeah.
That the game was trying to force me into the monk dash build.
If you've got any semblance of vertigo, if really rapid movement all around your screen makes you nauseous, the dash build just will not work for you. That is a fucking yeah.
That's part of the reason why I can't do sword and board on Warframe, is because the movement is so fluid and quick that it actually gives me a migraine. So using a controller actually helps mitigate that migraine.
But it makes you suck at Warframe.
Well, yes, I do suck at Warframe. And I admit that.
No, you're
not. I'm not saying you specifically. I'm not saying you specifically. I'm saying that, anytime controllers are playing with sword and board, they're always at a disadvantage.
Oh, no.
And Warframe is, specifically designed in a way that I think makes it even more so than other games, than other shooters, for first or third person that are out there, because it is by far the most fast-paced and fluid motion of pretty much any first or third person shooter game out there, and it requires that quick wrist flick mouse type action more so than a lot of other games would. So,
or if you're a crazy person like me, a thumb flick on a trackball mouse.
God, you're even weirder than Zero.
That's the other thing. Masami, Masami uses.
Yeah, we don't make fun of you enough for that. We make too much fun of Zero for the controller. That's normal weird. You're weird.
But look at her fucking gameplay. She's playing right now.
Love you.
I know.
Going around really fucking fast.
I can't need to get a hand cam. Masami, you need to get a hand cam so we can watch you use a trackball. Just because, I'm honestly more interested in watching how you use a fucking trackball to play Warframe than I am in watching you play Warframe. I would rather watch your that. That's fascinating to me because you are literally the only person I know who uses a trackball.
You know what,
I use it for everything. So we play a game, I'm using a trackball, literally, because otherwise my wrists will just fucking kill me.
But that's such a skill, as good as you have to get, which Zero is learning to do now. So he knows, the process. As good as you have to get using a regular mouse, I mean, to do that with a trackball is, I don't know. Part of it's just fascinating to me.
See, I use a trackball for work. And I can't. When I come home and play a video game, there's no way in hell I'd be able to use a trackball and play a game. It would drive me insane.
I will say once you start, like, honestly, I would say don't start, trying to play a video game with a trackball, like with something like Warframe. Start with something that doesn't have maybe a lot of movement,
SimCity.
because yeah, it's something pretty paced. And just like ease
Minesweeper.
yourself, yeah, ease yourself into it, or just start using it at home for everything, and then literally you just start figuring it out. Like, I've actually got a Japanese trackball that literally I got it off Amazon. The instructions were in Japanese, but it's got a um third button for my ring finger to hit, which used to be my push to talk button until I figured out, gating on Discord. So
Do you know the reason they included Minesweeper and like Solitaire on Windows back in the day was to help people learn how to like point and click with a mouse?
I could believe it.
Trackball is
neat.
very sensitive. Take a ball, move it with your thumb.
Yeah, so like
Use
I don't
the
move.
finger buttons.
Yeah, like I could probably actually get a cam on my hand. That would not bother me, because then the rest of me could be whatever, and I am okay with this.
The Church of Chonkwij does not support the wearing of pants.
You know what I find really interesting, and I was actually thinking about it earlier today when I was playing D3. You don't actually move the mouse much
No.
at all in D3.
You really
No.
don't.
Like, you move the mouse in a small circle around your character, so your wrist almost stays planted on the mouse pad, and you just sort of shimmy the mouse left, right, up, down, circles, arcs, and you don't actually have to move it very much.
Oh yeah, like I one of the playing D3 with the trackball is super amazing, because I have a wireless one, obviously, because who the fuck needs wires anymore? Um, Although I will say that for like when you get into the high end of some movements, it's just not quite as good as gaming mice. Because it's just meant for everyday natural use, not gaming purposes. But like for D3, I'm just usually sitting here doing shit with my thumb or my fingers, and then occasionally clicking the number keys with my other hand, and that's
Yeah.
it's like one of the least movement intensive games. It's great.
I wish I could show you guys, like, when I'm playing on the Necromancer, the amount, just the key presses that I'm doing while I'm playing that character. Because if you could hear, because I've got my microphone gated in such a way that you guys can't hear me constantly. It's just I'm literally hitting 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 4 3 1 2 4 3 1 2 4 3 2 1
Okay.
3. And it's
Zero.
you know
If Weakness were here, or if Spirit ever comes back to Discord, we could tell you, for back in Diablo 1.0 for CM Wiz, it required you to spam 1 2 3 and occasionally 4. And what I did, I used this keyboard, this exact keyboard, because there's I put my pinky on tab and my other fingers on 1 2 3. I used to take my pinky off tab and put it on one of the programmable keys that I have right next to it, and I created a macro just for CM Wiz for two reasons. One, I don't want carpal tunnel. Two, I didn't want to wear out my fucking keyboard because of how fast I was spamming those three keys. Yeah, there are builds that are insane with gear spamming in D3. It's gotten better as they've sort of refined the builds, but it still exists.
I had a bunch of auto hotkey scripts that I used for D3, and I believe it was for Necro, for that very reason, Zero. So I just wrote some auto hotkey scripts that would keep uptime on all my abilities. And
I may have
to
to
do that.
I may have to do that, because this Steel Series keyboard that I have is fucking amazing for that. In fact, I think the Steel Series application may actually have Diablo specific setups.
It probably came with a Diablo profile, but that's years after this thing. Originally in 1.0, there was a big to-do with Blizzard's with Diablo specifically. Blizzard is anti-macro for a bunch of their games, not WoW, obviously. Or maybe it is WoW. I don't know. But there was a to-do because somebody was challenged or, got their account, a big name got their account suspended or banned for using a macro, until it was pointed out very publicly that Blizzard had a contest before that happened where they gave out a mouse. It was a Razer mouse that was Diablo edition, which came programmed with macros for D3. And it was officially endorsed by Blizzard as part of some,
what kind of
giveaway.
What kind of ridiculous hypocrisy is that shit?
That's the thing. That's why they dropped it, and that's why Leetness and Spirit and I we read that, we followed the entire thing from start to finish, and then we weren't afraid to use macros anymore, and it's acceptable again now.
God, imagine if you couldn't use macros unless you bought a video game company's specially designed official mouse with built-in macro buttons.
Yeah, that was one of the things that came up at the time.
Good lord.
I'm pretty sure that's not a business practice you could get away with in this country. I don't know. That'd be something.
Look at the
Want me to check in on Zero Cam?
well, you can.
You also have hand cam now too.
Oh my god, Masami has hand cam up.
Oh, there we go. That's what I'm interested in.
So if you look at the Reddit post I just posted in,
there's hand cam. Wait a minute.
Hand cam!
I gotta get Warframe up. Oh, when you actually play, I'll switch over to hand cam.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm almost loaded in.
So the Z board that I just posted, I had one of those when I originally was playing WoW, and it was something that Steel Series worked with the creators of Warcraft and created this Z board that the entire from the enter key, from the QWERTY keyboard over, so all of your numeric keys, print screen, and all that mess were specifically designed and built into this keyboard. So if you changed the Z board out, the actual face of the keyboard, and you changed it to, let's say, the Wrath of the Lich King version, it would be all of those keys to the right are all set for macros that are specific to that game. And you could specifically set macros to, like, I think 8 of the keys. And I had one of these things and ended up selling it on eBay and sold it for like $150. I only paid 30 for it.
I remember these.
Yes.
I remember when this came out. There was also there was a mouse too. Did you already say that?
Mm-hmm. I had the World of Warcraft. Oh God, what was the Warcraft mouse? It was this one actually. It was, again, Steel Series. Steel Series has worked a lot with Blizzard. But I had that exact mouse. And that was the first gaming mouse that I ever owned.
Yeah, the MMO gaming mouse.
Yeah. And then I also had, now, funny story, also had the, let's see here, the headset. Yep, this one exactly. That one exactly.
Oh God.
I had the headset and everything. And when I stopped playing WoW 9 years ago, I sold all of that and ended up getting, I got $110 for the headset. I got 75 or 100 for the keyboard, with one additional Z board. And I sold the mouse for 60. And it was, I mean, Yeah, I mean, I had all of that, and that's what made me stop initially. 9 years ago was I sat down one night and totaled up in the expansions and monthly subscriptions and peripherals that I'd bought how much I had actually spent on WoW, and I totaled it up, and it was over $1,600. And I was like, okay, I'm done, and stopped.
That was a remarkably smart decision on your part.
That was back.
You know how
Blizzard used
you know
to
how
do
much
some crazy
you know-
multi-level marketing.
Oh yeah, and you know how much I've spent on WoW since? I spent the initial $30 to get back into WoW, and my monthly subscription came off of the gold that I had on my characters when I stopped playing it.
Oof.
And that was almost a year's worth of time.
Okay, all right. So there's some pretty crazy action going on in Warframe right now. Switching over to Thumbcam, it's remarkably calm and restrained, except for when something crazy happens, and then there's sort of a quick flick. Also, Masami, you're out of vodka.
Yes. There's still plenty in the bottle. Don't worry. That will.
God damn. If Discord only let me do, like, split camera.
Oh, yeah, camera on one side, and yeah, I'd have to probably stream something somewhere else for you to do that properly.
You can put multiple participants up, like everybody up on the screen.
I mean, I've got the bar on the right hand side that's got the mini cams of everybody, but I've got the one big window focused in on OBS. This is great topical matter. Yeah. So the production side of this is still kind of janky and a mess on my end, but that's just because, you know, I barely know what I'm doing.
Hey, we're winging it. It don't matter. None of this matters.
I just hooked up the camera like 5 minutes ago. I expect there to be like a big post-session thing where we figure out how to do that side by side.
We need to work on the lighting on your camera. I'd like a little bit more contrast on your thumb. Oh god, no, it's too much! It's too bright. Okay, there we go. Hey, but Zero, check back in on the Zero cam briefly. Zero turned his lights back on so he doesn't look like Scary Hacker Man.
They've been on for the last half hour, 45 minutes. What are you talking about?
I'm very unobservant. Back to the Warframe cam.
Yes, we're at a loading screen because the mission ended.
Oh god, back to the Diablo cam.
Yep, switch over for the farts.
Oh yeah,
lightning farts.
A little bit of charge, a little bit of infernal gas, and he's dead. Good times.
Hey, listen, hey. There it was.
Right.
The death farts.
Oh god. So yeah, we started off with Zero accidentally fucking an alligator, and we end with death farts. This was a great podcast.
It was.
That it was. That it was.
All right. Thank you everybody for joining us. Special shout out to Rapid Kirby. Thanks for coming by, buddy. And yeah, GG's, and we will see you next week, same time, and all the rest of that. Everybody say bye.
Bye.
Penis.